Will Bitcoin go beyond $30,000? Will the decrease in US dollar inflation feel that rally as well as the rest of the crypto market? Let's talk about that today. So good morning, guys. Good afternoon, actually, depending on where you're at. And welcome back to another educational video here at the Blockhash Podcast, where we're going to be talking about Bitcoin today and the Bitcoin price and the Bitcoin chart, of course, and where things are going. We have been making calls on this all year long, as well as the banking crisis. You need to check out the new book that we published, The Future Economy with Forbes. We were a bestseller on Amazon and a #1 new release, and we called it. We talked about the collapse in the traditional banking industry and how blockchain and crypto were going to completely disrupt that. So go check that out on Amazon for like $19.99, $9.99 for ebooks. So all right, let's jump into it. So let's look at Bitcoin. Let's see how it's performing as of today. We got updated CPI data year over year, and we're seeing Bitcoin do very well in regards to that. The data was very favorable coming out with core inflation up 0.1, but that's not too bad considering that overall the inflation rate went down from 6 to 5 and we forecasted 5.2. So that's really surprising for a lot of people. And the FOMC is going on right now, the Fed meeting, and likely what they will discuss is the possibility to cool off and to taper on this interest rate hike, the hawkishness that Jerome Powell has had for a while. If we get that pause in rates, we're likely going to see Bitcoin explode. Now, we're coming up at a very crucial area of 30,000. I've said for a long time that I think, Bitcoin's fair value is anywhere between $30,000 and $40,000. The only reason it is not there right now are because of some key incidents that have happened in the last year since last May, as early as last April, where we had the Terra Luna and Celsius debacle and collapse, which destroyed the fair market value for Bitcoin, as well as altcoins going down from 40,000 to as low as 17.6. Then we got another nudge down to form our bottom in the market with the FTX collapse. And we have now closed that gap with FTX back in early January, getting above 20,000 again. And we have now confirmed this bull trend back in early March when we reversed from the $20,000 level, tapping on that floor and heading up as high as about 28.8, pretty much erasing the Terra Luna Celsius news. And that's where we're at today, is right where we were at in the midst of that collapse. We still have a ways to go. 30,000 is a massive barrier. If we go back to the prior bull market in 2021, around middle of May to middle of July, where we were bouncing off this floor around 30,000. Same thing in the early stage of that bull cycle in early 2021, bouncing off that floor of around 30,000. You can see that there's a little bit of a pattern, as well as some higher level floors, a couple higher level ceilings around 40,000, 41, 42,000. So that's why I think the fair market value for Bitcoin is between 30 and 40 at the moment. So breaking through 30 now with positive inflation data and the likelihood that we pause on rates for the federal funds rate, we're likely to see this run anywhere in this range. Now, I would like to see us head back up towards 40,000. I think that's entirely possible. I do think that that'll be kind of the top for this year, for 2023. So I think we'll get back to the ceiling. I think we'll cool off and we'll retrace somewhere into this area. So it'll be very interesting to see where that bottoms out. Probably above 30,000 is my guess. Some people have called for 20, but I think that's a little too low given, the fact that we have to make up all this ground. We're buying back up and recovering from where we were. Volume is slowly starting to come back. And given the regulatory environment in the US and a lot of exchanges and startups leaving for other jurisdictions, whether it's Singapore, Hong Kong, the UAE, etc., we're still doing pretty good. Trade volume is picking up in Asia too, in other places outside the US. So this market is much stronger than I think people realize. Now, once we clear 40, which I don't know if that's going to happen this year, if we get a serious run, it's possible. But we're going to end up retesting areas around 48,000 where there's some resistance. After that, we're clear to head all the way up to 60. Like the upper bounds of 50,000 is around 58 or so to 60. And if we break that, we're heading for all-time highs. And, if this cycle goes the way we want it to, we're going to go to some big, big numbers. And if you look at some of these patterns in the charts, they're going to tell you, at some point, we're probably going to have to, in 2023, sit anywhere between 48,000, maybe the all-time high, if we're going to go to new all-time highs in 2024 or 2025. So this is entirely possible. Anything could happen. We have to first get into price discovery, and that's the hardest part. So we got a lot of ground to make up. We still have to cut, we still have to cover all this Terra Luna and Celsius liquidations. But I think we're on the right track. So Bitcoin's sitting at 29.9 right now. So it's hovering around that 30,000 mark. It, on the shorter time frames, has busted through that Bollinger Bands. This is on the daily. Let's go to the 4-hour just for context. Yep, we're slowly popping, hitting that Bollinger Band, making our way up. Little corrections in between, making our way up. If I show you the 30, it's going to be the same thing. We have been in this range for the last couple days. This is a nice little flag pattern. I expect us to break out from here pretty soon. With positive inflation data, people wanting to consolidate. This will probably run closer to the 14th, where we have the Ethereum Shanghai upgrade, which is very important, which I think could be a catalyst for the rest of the altcoin market. Bitcoin could ride on that news as well and start heading to 31,000 and then push above that. So it has been a slow grind to get even from 29,000 flat up. Actually, let's say 28,000 flat. It took us how many days? Jesus. It took a few weeks, and then we finally broke up. So this might consolidate for a while before we head up, or the positive news could, send Bitcoin rocketing up towards, the middle ranges of the 30,000s. In which case, if that happens, we'll definitely see a pullback. So don't be surprised. A lot of multi-month consolidation potentially. So keep your eye on that stuff. Watch the prices carefully. Again, this is not financial advice. This is just my own opinions, my own thoughts, and what I am seeing in the market. So do your own research, do your own due diligence. Talk to you guys soon.